I slapped the Mafia boss in public for my friend. He smiled and said, "Finally, someone real." Part 2. Part 1. Maya discovered 3 important things about Dante Caruso at the arcade. 1. He was absurdly competitive, even at games designed for children. 2. He had a laugh, a real unguarded laugh, that made him look younger and less like a man who probably had people who handled problems for him. 3. He was an absolutely terrible liar when it came to pretending he wasn't letting her win at air hockey. "You're doing it again," Maya said, watching him accidentally miss an easy shot. "Doing what?" Dante's expression was perfectly innocent, which only confirmed her suspicion. "Letting me win." "I'm not." "Dante, you sank 3 impossible shots in a row. Then suddenly you can't hit a puck that's moving in a straight line." He had the decency to look slightly sheepish. "Maybe I'm just getting tired." "You literally own a gym. I've seen the articles about your 5 a.m. workout routine." "Those articles exaggerate." "Do they, though?" Maya leaned across the air hockey table. "Here's what I think. I think you're used to being in control, used to winning, but you're also trying to be charming and let me have a good time, so you're throwing the game." Dante's smile turned wolfish. "And if I am, then stop. I don't want you to let me win. I want to actually beat you." "You want me to play seriously?" "I want you to be real. Wasn't that the whole point of this?" Something shifted in Dante's expression, a flash of approval mixed with challenge. "Okay, real it is. But don't complain when I destroy you." Big talk from someone who just missed 3 shots in a row. That was strategic mercy. Now, he picked up his paddle. "Now you're going to regret asking for honesty." The next round was brutal. Dante played like he did everything else, with focused intensity and zero mercy. Maya held her own, but he won 7-5, and she'd never been more attracted to someone in her entire life. "Better?" he asked, clearly pleased with himself. "Much." Maya was breathing hard, adrenaline singing through her veins. "Though I'm pretty sure you still pulled a few shots at the end." "Maybe 1 or 2. He walked around the table toward her. "You were trying so hard." It was endearing. "Endearing?" "Adorable, actually. The way you bit your lip when you were concentrating, the little victory dance when you scored." He was close now, close enough that she could smell his cologne, made it very difficult to focus on winning. Maya's heart was hammering, and it had nothing to do with the game. "You're flirting." "I'm being honest. You said you wanted real." His hand came up to tuck a strand of hair behind her ear. "This is me being real, Maya. You're distracting. You make me forget to be careful." "Is that a good thing or a bad thing?" "I'm not sure yet." His thumb traced her cheekbone. "But I'm willing to find out." A group of teenagers burst past them, laughing and shouting, breaking the moment. Dante stepped back smoothly, and Maya remembered how to breathe. "Come on," he said, taking her hand. "There's a photo booth in the back. We need evidence that I brought you somewhere normal." "Evidence for who?" "For you. So when you're lying in bed tonight wondering if this was real or if you imagine the whole thing, you'll have proof." The photo booth was one of those old-fashioned ones with a curtain and a tiny bench. Dante fed it bills and gestured for Maya to go in first. "This is going to be cramped," she warned. "I'll manage." He slid in beside her, and cramped was an understatement. They were pressed together shoulder to hip to knee, and Maya was very aware of every point of contact. The camera started its countdown. "Smile," Dante said. They smiled. The camera flashed. "Now make a funny face." Maya crossed her eyes and stuck out her tongue. Dante raised one eyebrow in that infuriating way he had. Flash. Now Dante turned to look at her, and suddenly they were face to face, inches apart. "Now be honest. Tell me what you're thinking right now." Maya's breath caught. The camera was counting down again, but she couldn't look away from his eyes. "I'm thinking this is insane," she whispered. "What else?" "I'm thinking I should run, that this is too much, too fast, too..." "What else, Maya?" The camera flashed, capturing whatever expression was on her face, probably something between panic and longing. "I'm thinking I don't want to run," she admitted. "I'm thinking I want to see where this goes, even though it's terrifying, even though you're probably dangerous." Dante kissed her. It wasn't careful or tentative. It was decisive and sure and absolutely perfect. His hand cupped the back of her neck, angling her head, and Maya made a small sound of surprise that turned into something else entirely. The camera flashed again, but neither of them noticed. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Dante rested his forehead against hers. "Still want to run?" he murmured. "Absolutely." Maya's hands had somehow fisted in his jacket. "But I'm not going to." "Good." He pressed a soft kiss to her forehead. "Because I'm not letting you go that easily." They collected their photo strip on the way out. 4 pictures of them smiling, making faces, looking at each other with way too much intensity, and then one blurry image of them kissing that made Maya's stomach flip every time she looked at it. "I'm keeping this," Dante said, tearing the strip in half. "That's not how photo strips work. You're supposed to share. Then we'll have to come back and take more." He pocketed his half and handed her the other. "Considerate incentive for a 3rd date." "This is only the 2nd date." "Exactly. Which means we're making excellent progress." They left the arcade and walked down the street, hands linked, neither of them in a hurry to get back to the real world. It was fully dark now, the city alive with lights and sound and possibility. "Tell me something," Dante said. "Something you don't usually share." "I did that already. At dinner, remember?" "Tell me something else. Something new." Maya thought about it. "I'm afraid I'm going to end up like my mother." Dante glanced at her. "How so?" "She spent her whole life making herself smaller, quieter, less intimidating. She thought if she was just agreeable enough, my dad would stay. He left anyway." Maya kicked at a pebble on the sidewalk. "I swore I'd never do that, never make myself less for someone else. But sometimes I wonder if that's why all my relationships fail, because I'm too much." "You're not too much." Dante said it with such certainty that Maya almost believed him. "You don't know that. You barely know me. I know you slapped a man in front of Boston's elite for being cruel. I know you drove across the city at night to rescue a teenager. I know you demand honesty even when it's uncomfortable. I know you bite your lip when you're concentrating and do a little victory dance when you win." He stopped walking and turned to face her. "You're not too much, Maya. You're exactly right. Anyone who couldn't handle you wasn't worthy of you in the first place." Maya's eyes were burning. "You can't just say things like that." "Why not?" "Because it makes me want to believe you. It makes me want to trust this, whatever this is. And that's terrifying." "It terrifies me too," Dante admitted quietly. "I've spent years building walls, being careful about who I let close. And then you showed up and demolished every defense I had in approximately 5 seconds. That's not possible, isn't it?" He stepped closer. "Maya, I've dated plenty of women. Beautiful women, interesting women, women who looked perfect on paper. But none of them ever made me feel like I could be more than what I am, better than what I am. You make me want to be the man you see when you look at me." "And what man is that?" "Someone honest, someone good. Someone worthy of someone as extraordinary as you." Maya laughed, but it came out shaky. "You barely know me, and you think I'm extraordinary." "I know enough." His hands framed her face, thumbs stroking her cheeks. "I know you're brilliant and passionate and brave. I know you defend the people you love without hesitation. I know you challenge me in ways I didn't know I needed. That's enough for me to know I want more." "More what?" "More time. More conversations, more terrible arcade games, and honest confessions, and moments like this." He leaned in, his lips brushing hers softly. "More of you, Maya Chen, as much as you're willing to give me." This kiss was different from the one in the photo booth. Slower, deeper, full of promise and possibility. Maya's hands slid up to his shoulders, and she let herself fall into him just for a moment. When they broke apart, she was trembling. "I should go home," she whispered. "Should you?" "Yes, because if I don't go now, I'm going to do something stupid." "Like what?" "Like invite you upstairs. Like forget all the very good reasons this is complicated and potentially disastrous. Like let myself believe this could actually work." Dante smiled against her lips. "Would that be so terrible?" "Yes, maybe. I don't know." Maya stepped back, needing space to think. Dante, I need to be smart about this. I have my program, my research, my life. I can't just throw everything away For what? For a man you barely know? For a possible crime lord with a complicated past? He didn't sound offended, just curious. Or for the possibility that this might be real? All of it. Maya wrapped her arms around herself. My ex used to say I led with my heart instead of my head, that I was too impulsive, too emotional. And he was right. I am impulsive. I do feel things too intensely. And every time I've trusted that, I've ended up hurt. I'm not your ex. I know, but that doesn't mean you won't hurt me. Dante was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was serious. You're right. I probably will hurt you, because I'm human and flawed, and I'm going to make mistakes. But Maya, I swear to you, I will never make you smaller. I will never ask you to be less than you are. Whatever happens between us, I want all of you. The impulsive, emotional, passionate woman who slaps people who deserve it and rescues teenagers at midnight and challenges me to be better. Maya's defenses were crumbling. She could feel them fracturing with every word he spoke. This is crazy, she said weakly. Yes. We met 3 days ago. Yes. You're probably a criminal. Allegedly. His smile was slight. Though for what it's worth, I'm trying very hard to be reformed. For me, but also yes, for you, because you make me want to deserve you. Maya closed her eyes, breathed, made a decision that was probably stupid, but felt absolutely right. Okay, let's do this. Let's see where this goes. But we're setting some ground rules. Dante's expression brightened with something that looked almost like relief. I'm listening. First, honesty. Always. I don't care if the truth is ugly or complicated. I want to know what I'm dealing with. Agreed. Second, you don't interfere with my program or my career. No more calling university presidents, no matter how well-intentioned. That one's harder, but okay. Third, we take this slow. No rushing into anything, no grand romantic gestures that make me feel like I'm in over my head. Dante's smile turned amused. Define slow. Slower than letting a stranger's teenager live in your guest house after knowing me for 24 hours. That's a pretty high bar. I'm serious, Dante. So am I. He stepped closer, his expression sobering. Maya, I'll go as slow as you need. But I need you to understand something. I'm all in. I know it's fast. I know it's crazy. But I haven't felt this way about anyone in maybe ever. So yes, I'll be patient. I'll follow your rules, but I'm not going anywhere. What if I change my mind? Then I'll respect that, even if it kills me. He took her hand, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. But I have a feeling you're not going to change your mind. Why's that? Because you feel it too. This thing between us. You're just more cautious about admitting it. He was right, and Maya hated how right he was. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Miss Chen just wanted to say thank you again for everything. Mr. Caruso's guest house is amazing. I actually slept through the night for the first time in months. I know you're probably worried about me being here, but I promise I'm okay. He's really nice, and he clearly really likes you. Lol, sorry if that's weird to say. Anyway, thank you for everything. Maya showed Dante the text. See, even my teenage mentee can tell you're obsessed with me. I'm not obsessed. I'm interested. There's a difference. Is there? Obsessed implies I can't function without you. Interested means I function fine. I just prefer doing it with you around. His thumb traced circles on the back of her hand, though I'll admit the line is getting blurrier by the day. Maya laughed despite herself. You're ridiculous. You like that about me? I barely tolerate it. Liar. He pulled her closer. Admit it. You like me. I'm still deciding. Take your time. I'll wait. He kissed her forehead, but for the record, I'm more than like you, Maya Chen, and I'm very much looking forward to proving it to you. They stood there for a moment, wrapped in each other and the possibility of what they could become. Then Maya's phone rang. Dr. Patterson. I have to take this, she said, pulling away reluctantly. Go. I'll text you tomorrow. Maya answered as Dante walked back toward his car. Dr. Patterson, hello. Miss Chen. Her advisor's voice was cold. I've been reviewing the incident from Saturday night. We need to discuss your future in this program. My office, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Don't be late. The call ended. Maya stood there, the warmth from moments ago fading into anxiety. Dante had stopped walking. He was watching her from his car, and somehow, even from a distance, he could tell something was wrong. He walked back to her. What happened? My advisor. She wants to see me tomorrow morning. Maya tried to smile, probably to kick me out of the program. She's not going to kick you out. You don't know that. Maya. No. She stepped back. No grand gestures, remember? I need to handle this myself. I need to prove I can manage my own life without someone swooping in to fix things. Dante's jaw tightened, but he nodded. Okay. But if you change your mind, I'll call you. She stood on her toes and kissed him quickly. Thank you. For tonight. For being honest. For making me laugh. Same time next week? He asked. Assuming you're not expelled and forced to flee the state. Assuming that, yes, she smiled. Though maybe we can graduate from arcades to something slightly more age-appropriate. I don't know. I was thinking bumper cars next. Really lean into the juvenile activities. Maya laughed, and Dante's expression softened. There it is, he murmured. There what is? That smile. The real one. He traced her lower lip with his thumb. I'm addicted to it already. You're impossible. You're extraordinary. He kissed her one more time, soft and sweet and full of promise. Good luck tomorrow. Text me after. Maybe. Maya. Fine. Yes, I'll text you. Good. He walked backward toward his car, still watching her. Don't let her intimidate you. You're brilliant and passionate, and you deserve to be in that program. How do you know I'm brilliant? You haven't read any of my research. I'll read it all if you want, but I don't need to read it to know. He opened his car door. I can see it in the way you talk about your work, the way you light up when you discuss childhood resilience, the way you care about Marcus and the other kids. That's not something you can fake. Maya's throat was tight. You really believe that? I really do. He slid into the driver's seat. Now go home, get some sleep, and tomorrow, show Dr. Patterson exactly who Maya Chen is. Trust me, she won't stand a chance. He drove away and Maya stood there watching his taillights disappear, wondering how a man she'd met by slapping his employee had somehow become the person who believed in her most. Her phone buzzed. A text from Dante. That came out wrong. What I meant was you're unstoppable when you're passionate about something. Dr. Patterson is just another obstacle, and you don't let obstacles stop you. You slap them and move forward. Another text. That metaphor got away from me. Point is, you've got this, and I've got you, if you need me. One more. Okay, I'm stopping now before I sound more obsessed. Good night, Maya. Dream of me. Maya laughed, saved the photo strip from tonight in her wallet next to Dante's business card, and walked into her apartment building. Priya was going to lose her mind when she heard about this. But first, Maya had to survive tomorrow's meeting. And maybe, just maybe, figure out how to navigate falling for a possible crime lord while maintaining her academic career and her sanity. Though honestly, at this point, the sanity ship had probably already sailed. What do you think? Is Maya making the right choice trusting Dante? Or is she heading for heartbreak? Drop a comment and let me know if you've ever fallen for someone you knew you shouldn't. Part 2. Maya arrived at Dr. Patterson's office at 8:55 a.m., clutching a coffee she was too nervous to drink and wearing her most professional outfit. A navy blazer and pencil skirt that screamed responsible graduate student who definitely doesn't slap people at charity galas. Dr. Patterson's door was closed. Maya could hear voices inside. More than one. That wasn't good. At exactly 9 a.m. the door opened. Dr. Patterson stood there, her silver hair pulled back in a severe bun, her expression unreadable. Miss Chen, come in. Maya stepped inside and froze. Dr. Patterson wasn't alone. Seated in the two chairs across from her desk were Dean Morrison and someone Maya didn't recognize, a woman in an expensive suit with sharp eyes and a legal pad. "Please sit," Dr. Patterson said, gesturing to the only remaining chair. Maya sat, her heart hammering. This wasn't a casual conversation. This was a tribunal. "Miss Chen, this is Dean Morrison, whom you know, and Sarah Chen, no relation, from the university's legal counsel." Dr. Patterson folded her hands on her desk. "We're here to discuss the incident from Saturday evening." "I can explain," Maya started. "That won't be necessary," the lawyer interrupted smoothly. "We have video from the security cameras, multiple witness statements, and photographic evidence. What we need is your explanation of why you thought physical violence was an appropriate response to a verbal altercation." Maya's mouth went dry. The man, Marcus Reeves, had just thrown a drink on my friend Sophie. He humiliated her in front of everyone because she turned down his advances. I reacted without thinking. "Without thinking," Dr. Patterson repeated. "Miss Chen, you're a doctoral student in psychology. Your entire field is built on understanding behavior and controlling impulses, and yet you assaulted a man at a public event while representing this university." "I wasn't representing the university. I was attending as Sophie's guest." "You were wearing a university-provided name tag," Dean Morrison cut in. "Several articles about the incident specifically mentioned you as a BU psychology doctoral candidate. Whether you intended to or not, you represented this institution." Maya felt her stomach drop. "I didn't think about that." "Clearly." Dr. Patterson leaned forward. "Miss Chen, I've been concerned about your judgment since the incident with Dr. Westbrook last semester, accusing a visiting professor of plagiarism without concrete evidence, making a scene at a departmental meeting." "I had evidence," Maya said tightly. "I showed you the comparative analysis. Dr. Westbrook's paper was 87% identical to his graduate student's thesis from 3 years ago, and yet Dr. Westbrook denied the allegations, and you had no way to prove intent. Because you didn't pursue it, you swept it under the rug, because he brings in grant money." "Miss Chen," the lawyer's voice was sharp, "you're here to explain your actions on Saturday, not to relitigate past grievances." Maya clenched her jaw, forcing herself to stay calm. Getting angry would only prove their point. "I apologize," she said carefully. "Saturday's incident was out of character. I saw my friend being humiliated and I reacted emotionally. It won't happen again." "Can you guarantee that?" Dr. Patterson asked. "Because from where I'm sitting, this looks like a pattern." Calling out Dr. Westbrook, that argument with Professor Chen about research methodology, and now this. "You have a problem with authority and impulse control." "I have a problem with injustice," Maya corrected. "And yes, maybe I react too quickly sometimes, but that doesn't mean I was wrong." "Right or wrong is irrelevant," Dean Morrison said. "Perception matters, and right now the perception is that BU's psychology program is training students who resort to violence when upset." "It was one slap, one very public slap that's been viewed over 1 million times online," the lawyer added. "We've received calls from donors, asking about the university's position on student conduct. We've had prospective students' parents questioning whether BU maintains appropriate behavioral standards." Maya felt the walls closing in. "So what are you saying? You're expelling me?" Dr. Patterson and Dean Morrison exchanged glances. "We're considering several options," Dr. Patterson said finally. "Academic probation is already on the table from the Westbrook incident. This adds another layer of concern about your fitness for the program." "My fitness?" Maya's voice rose, despite her best efforts. "I have a 3.9 GPA. My research on childhood trauma resilience is being reviewed for publication. I volunteer 20 hours a week at the youth center. How is any of that related to one impulsive moment?" "Because academia requires more than intelligence, Miss Chen. It requires judgment, professionalism, and the ability to represent the field with dignity." Dr. Patterson's expression was ice, none of which you demonstrated on Saturday. Maya's phone buzzed in her pocket. She ignored it. "However," Dean Morrison said, "there have been some complications." "Complications?" We received a call yesterday afternoon from the Caruso Foundation, the lawyer said, consulting her legal pad. They've been significant donors to the psychology department for the past decade. Apparently, they've taken an interest in your research and want to discuss potential funding opportunities. Maya's blood ran cold. No, no, no. Dante had promised. She'd told him not to interfere. I don't know anything about that, Maya said, which wasn't technically a lie. Really? Dr. Patterson's eyebrow arched. Because several witnesses reported seeing you leave the gala with Dante Caruso himself, and there are photos of you two having dinner on Sunday evening. That's personal. It has nothing to do with my academic work. Doesn't it? Dr. Patterson leaned back. Miss Chen, the Caruso family has a reputation. Their foundation does good work, but their business dealings are questionable. If you're romantically involved with Dante Caruso, while also accepting funding from his foundation, that raises serious ethical concerns. I haven't accepted any funding. Not yet. But the foundation specifically requested a meeting with you to discuss your research proposal. Dean Morrison slid a paper across the desk. They're offering $150,000 over 2 years. That's more than most doctoral students see in their entire program. Maya stared at the paper. Her research proposal, the one she'd submitted to 3 foundations and been rejected by all of them because it was too ambitious, too expensive, too focused on an underserved population that didn't generate exciting headlines. Dante had gotten hold of it somehow, had read it, had decided to fund it, after she'd explicitly told him not to interfere. I need to make a call, Maya said, standing up. Miss Chen, we're not finished. I need 5 minutes, please. She was already walking toward the door. Just give me 5 minutes. She didn't wait for permission. She stepped into the hallway, pulled out her phone and called Dante. He answered on the second ring. Maya, how did the meeting? What did you do? Her voice was shaking with fury. I told you not to interfere. I explicitly said no grand gestures. And you went behind my back and offered to fund my research. Silence. Dante, answer me. I read your proposal, he said finally. You sent it to the Boston Children's Foundation last month. They rejected it because they're focused on medical research, not psychological interventions. But Maya, your work is important. It deserves funding. So I had my foundation reach out. I didn't ask you to do that. I know. I told you I needed to handle this myself. Maya was pacing now, her free hand clenched into a fist. Do you have any idea what you've done? They think I'm sleeping with you for money. They think I'm using my relationship with you to buy my way through the program. That's not what's happening. It doesn't matter what's actually happening. It matters what it looks like. She could feel tears burning behind her eyes. I've worked so hard, Dante, so hard to be taken seriously, to prove I deserve to be here. And you waltzed in with your money and your connections, and made me look like I can't succeed on my own. Maya, that's not. Yes, it is. Don't you see? Everything I've built, every achievement I've earned, it all looks tainted now, like I'm just another woman trading favors with a powerful man. Anyone who knows you would never think that. You don't understand. Maya's voice cracked. You've never had to fight to be taken seriously. You were born into wealth and power. You don't know what it's like to be the scholarship kid, the one everyone assumes doesn't belong. I've spent my entire life proving I earned my place, and you just destroyed that in one phone call. I was trying to help. I didn't ask for your help. I asked for honesty and respect, and for you to stay out of my career. She was crying now, hot, angry tears streaming down her face. But you couldn't do that, could you? Because you're so used to fixing things with money that you can't imagine someone not wanting your help. That's not fair. Isn't it? Tell me honestly, Dante. Have you ever had to prove yourself? Have you ever been told you don't belong somewhere? Have you ever had to work twice as hard as everyone else, just to be seen as half as good? Another silence. I thought so, Maya said bitterly. You can't help yourself. You see a problem, you throw money at it. You see someone struggling, you swoop in and save them. But I didn't need saving, Dante. I needed a partner who respected my boundaries. Maya, please. I have to go. They're waiting for me. Wait, just can we talk about this? Tonight? Let me explain. There's nothing to explain. You did exactly what I asked you not to do. You proved that you don't actually listen to me. You just do what you think is best, and expect me to be grateful. That's not what happened. Goodbye, Dante. She hung up before he could respond, wiped her eyes, and walked back into Dr. Patterson's office. 3 faces turned to her, all wearing variations of the same expression: judgment. I don't want the funding, Maya said clearly. Whatever the Caruso Foundation offered, I'm declining it. My relationship with Dante Caruso is personal and has nothing to do with my academic work, and I'm willing to accept whatever consequences the university deems appropriate for Saturday's incident. But I'm not a cheater, and I'm not using anyone for money or favors. Dr. Patterson studied her. That's quite a speech. It's the truth. And your relationship with Mr. Caruso is over, as of 2 minutes ago. Maya's voice was steady even though her heart was breaking. So whatever ethical concerns you had about that can be put to rest. Dean Morrison and the lawyer exchanged glances. We'll need time to deliberate, Dean Morrison said. Finally, we'll have a decision about your status in the program by end of week. Understood. Maya stood. If there's nothing else. There is one thing, Dr. Patterson said. Why developmental psychology? Why focus on trauma and resilience? There are easier paths, more lucrative research areas. Maya met her advisor's eyes. Because I was one of those kids, growing up poor, watching my mom work herself to exhaustion, wondering if we'd make rent, and I made it out because someone believed in me. A teacher who saw past the hand-me-down clothes and the free lunch program. I want to be that person for other kids. I want to prove that where you start doesn't determine where you end up. For the first time, Dr. Patterson's expression softened slightly. That's a good answer. It's the only answer that matters to me. We'll be in touch, Miss Chen. Maya left the office with her head high, and her heart shattered. Her phone was buzzing with texts from Dante. Maya, please call me back. I'm sorry, I should have asked first. I just wanted to help. Your research deserves support. Please, let me explain. She silenced her phone and kept walking. Priya found her 2 hours later, sitting in the graduate library staring at her laptop without actually seeing it. Marcus called me, Priya said, sliding into the seat across from her. The kid Marcus, not the slapped Marcus. He said Mr. Caruso has been trying to reach you, and wanted to make sure you were okay. I'm fine. You're clearly not fine. You've been crying. Priya reached across the table. What happened? Maya told her everything. The meeting, the funding offer, the fight with Dante. When she finished, Priya was quiet for a long moment. Okay, she said finally. I'm going to say something you probably don't want to hear. Please don't. He was trying to help. Priya. I know. You told him not to interfere. But Maya, he read your research proposal. He saw something worth funding. That's not a bad thing. It is when it makes me look like I'm sleeping my way to success. Only to people who were already looking for reasons to dismiss you. Priya squeezed her hand. Dr. Patterson has had it out for you since the Westbrook thing. She was going to find a reason to question your place in the program regardless. Dante didn't cause that, but he made it worse. Maybe. Or maybe he gave you an opportunity you wouldn't have had otherwise. Priya paused. What if you accepted the funding? What if you made it clear it was based on merit, not your relationship? Would that be so terrible? Yes, because then I'd always wonder if I earned it or if he just handed it to me. Maya, listen to yourself. You're so determined to prove you don't need help that you're rejecting opportunities you've earned. Your research is good enough to fund. Whether that funding comes from Dante's foundation or someone else's doesn't change the quality of your work. Maya shook her head. You don't understand. Then explain it to me. I've spent my whole life being underestimated. People assuming I got into schools because of affirmative action, not my grades. Assuming I got scholarships because I was poor, not because I was brilliant. I'm tired of people assuming I didn't earn what I have. And if I accept Dante's money, That's all anyone will see. The girl who dated a rich man and got what she wanted. And what about what you actually want? Priya asked gently. Not what other people think. Not what looks good on paper. What do you actually want? Maya closed her eyes. I want to do my research. I want to help kids like Marcus. I want to make a difference. And you want Dante. That's not… Maya, you want him. I can see it in your face every time you talk about him. You're in love with him, or falling there fast, and it terrifies you. I'm not in love with him. We've known each other less than a week. Time doesn't matter when it's real. Priya leaned forward. My parents knew each other 3 days before my dad proposed. They've been married 30 years. Sometimes you just know. This is different. How? Because he's… Maya gestured helplessly. He's everything I'm not. Rich, powerful, connected. He can fix anything with a phone call. And I'm just… me, struggling to pay rent. Working 3 jobs. Fighting for every opportunity. We're from different worlds. So were my parents. My mom was a refugee with nothing. My dad was a second-generation doctor. But they made it work because they wanted to. Priya's expression was serious. The question isn't whether you're from different worlds. It's whether you want the same thing. And what do we want? Each other. Priya smiled sadly. But you're both too stubborn and scared to admit it. Maya's phone buzzed again. Another text from Dante. I'm outside your apartment. I'll wait as long as it takes. Please talk to me. He's at your apartment, Priya said, reading over her shoulder. I know. Are you going to talk to him? I don't know what to say. Start with the truth. Tell him how you feel. All of it. The anger, the fear, the part where you're falling for him, and it scares you. Priya stood up. But do it soon, before you both say things you can't take back. She left, and Maya sat there staring at her phone. Another text. I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I just wanted to help. Because your work matters. Because you matter. But I should have asked first. I should have listened. I'm sorry. And another, I'm not going anywhere. I'll wait all day if I have to. Just please, talk to me. Maya packed up her laptop, left the library and headed home. She needed to end this. Even if it broke her heart. Even if walking away from Dante Caruso was the hardest thing she'd ever done. Because Priya was wrong about one thing. They didn't want the same thing. Dante wanted to fix her problems. And Maya wanted to prove she didn't need fixing. Those two desires could never coexist. No matter how much she wished they could. Part 3. Dante was sitting on the steps outside her apartment building, still wearing the same clothes from last night. He looked exhausted, his hair disheveled, dark circles under his eyes. When he saw Maya approaching, he stood up slowly, like he wasn't sure she'd actually stop. She stopped. You look terrible, she said. I haven't slept. His voice was rough. I've been calling, texting. I thought maybe you'd blocked me. I considered it, but you didn't. I needed time to think. Maya crossed her arms, keeping distance between them. You shouldn't be here, Dante. Where else would I be? He took a step toward her, then stopped himself. Maya, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I should have asked you first. You should have listened to me, period. I told you not to interfere with my career. I was clear about that boundary, and you completely ignored it. I know. Do you? Maya's voice rose despite her best efforts to stay calm. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you heard what I said and decided your way was better anyway. Just like you decided Marcus should stay at your guest house without asking if I was comfortable with that. Just like you called the university president without checking with me first. You keep making decisions about my life without including me in them. Dante's jaw clenched. I was trying to help. I didn't ask for your help. You shouldn't have to ask. You were in trouble. Your research deserves funding. Marcus needed a safe place. Those things should be fixed, Maya. I had the power to fix them, so I did. But they weren't your problems to fix. Maya's hands were shaking. They were mine. My challenges, my struggles, my responsibility, and you took that away from me. How is helping you taking something away? Because now I'll never know if I could have done it myself. The words burst out of her, raw and painful. Don't you see? Every time you swoop in and fix things, you're telling me I'm not capable of handling my own life. You're telling me I need someone powerful to save me. That's not what I'm saying at all. But that's what it feels like. Maya's voice cracked. I've spent my entire life fighting to prove I'm good enough, smart enough, strong enough, and you keep trying to make things easy for me, like you don't trust that I can succeed on my own. Dante stared at her, something shifting in his expression. Is that really what you think? That I don't believe in you? What else am I supposed to think? That I'm in love with you? The words hung in the air between them, shocking in their simplicity. Maya's breath caught. What? I'm in love with you, Maya. Dante's voice was steady now, certain. I have been since you slapped Marcus, and looked me in the eye without an ounce of fear, since you challenged me at dinner, and demanded honesty, since you dropped everything to rescue a teenager you mentor. I'm in love with the woman who bites her lip when she's concentrating and does victory dances when she wins, and calls me out when I'm being an arrogant ass. We've known each other less than a week. I don't care about the timeline. I know how I feel. He took another step closer. And I'm not trying to fix you, or save you, or make things easy because I think you're weak. I'm doing it because I can't stand watching you struggle when I have the power to help. Because seeing you stressed or hurt or worried makes me want to tear the world apart until everything's okay again. That's not love, Dante. That's control. The word landed like a slap. Dante actually flinched. Is that what you think I'm trying to do? His voice was quiet, hurt. Control you? I think you're used to being in charge, used to having power, and I think you can't help trying to orchestrate everything, even when it's not your place. You're right. Dante ran his hands through his hair, looking more vulnerable than she'd ever seen him. You're absolutely right. I am used to being in control. I've spent my entire life in a world where power is everything, where showing weakness gets you eaten alive. And yes, I try to fix things, because that's what I know how to do. That's how I survived. He stepped closer, and this time Maya didn't back away. But I need you to understand something, he continued. I don't want to control you. I don't want to change you or make you smaller or take away your agency. I want to be the person standing beside you, supporting you while you accomplish incredible things. But I don't know how to do that without trying to clear every obstacle in your path. Maya whispered, because I lost my brother. The pain in his voice was visceral. I watched Luca fall apart and I did nothing. I saw the signs. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't intervene because I thought he needed to figure it out himself. And by the time I tried to help, it was too late. He was already gone. Tears were streaming down Maya's face now. That wasn't your fault. My head knows that, but my heart, he pressed his fist to his chest. My heart says I should have done something, anything. And now when I see someone I care about struggling, every instinct in me screams to fix it before it's too late, before I lose them too. So this is about Luca. This is about me being terrified of losing people I love, because I didn't do enough. Dante's voice broke. And yes, I know that's not fair to you. I know you're not Luca, and your struggles aren't addiction or self-destruction. But the fear is the same, the desperate need to make sure you're okay, even if it means overstepping. Maya wiped her eyes, her anger deflating into something more complicated. I'm not going to break, Dante. I'm not fragile. I know you're not. You're the strongest person I've ever met. He cupped her face gently. But even strong people deserve support. Even strong people need someone in their corner. I have people in my corner. Priya, Sophie, the kids at the youth center. And now you have me, if you want me. His thumb brushed away her tears. But I need to learn how to be in your corner the right way, without steamrolling you or making decisions for you. I need you to teach me how to love you without suffocating you. I don't know if I can do that, Maya admitted. I don't know if I can be with someone who makes me question whether I earned my own success. Then we'll figure it out together. We'll set better boundaries. I'll ask before I act. I'll trust you to handle your own problems unless you explicitly ask for help. His forehead rested against hers. Just please, don't give up on us. Not yet. Not when we're just starting to figure out what this could be. Maya closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of his hands on her face, breathing in his familiar scent. Every logical part of her brain was screaming that this was too complicated, too messy, too soon. But her heart, her stupid, impulsive heart, was screaming something else entirely. "I'm scared," she whispered. "So am I. I've never felt like this before. This intense, this fast. Neither have I. And that terrifies me more than anything. Because what if I fall completely and you can't change? What if your need to fix things is stronger than your ability to let me be independent?" Dante pulled back, just enough to look her in the eyes. "Then I'll lose you, and that would destroy me. Which is why I'm going to do everything in my power to change, to be better, to be the partner you deserve. You can't just promise to change overnight." "I'm not promising overnight. I'm promising to try. Every single day. I'll try." His voice was fierce with determination. "And when I mess up, because I will mess up, I'll listen when you call me out. I'll apologize and do better. I'll prove to you that I can love you without controlling you." Maya wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to believe him so badly it hurt. "What about the funding?" she asked. "Withdrawn. I called the foundation this morning and told them to rescind the offer. Your research will have to find support somewhere else. And when it does, it'll be because you earned it, not because of me. And Marcus stays in the guest house as long as he needs. But I'll communicate with you about everything, any decisions about his care, his placement, his future. We make them together, or you make them, and I support you." He hesitated. "Unless you want me to step back completely, I will if that's what you need." Maya thought about Marcus, how happy he'd seemed this morning, how settled, how safe. "No," she said quietly. "He's good where he is, but we need to involve his caseworker, make everything official. No more unilateral decisions." "Agreed. I'll set up a meeting this week." They stood there for a moment, still touching, still close, the air between them charged with possibility and fear and hope. "I don't know if I'm ready to say it back," Maya admitted. "The love thing, it's too soon and I'm still processing everything. I don't need you to say it back. I just needed you to know." Dante's smile was soft, vulnerable. "I can wait. I'm good at waiting when it matters." "Are you, though? Because everything so far suggests you're terrible at patience." "I'm terrible at patience when it comes to fixing problems. But for you, for us, I'll wait as long as it takes." Maya's phone buzzed. A text from Priya. "If you're not back in 20 minutes, I'm assuming you're either dead or having make-up sex. Please confirm either way." Despite everything, Maya laughed. "Priya wants to know if I'm alive." "Are you alive?" Dante's expression was cautiously hopeful. "Mostly," she looked up at him. "I'm still angry, and hurt, and scared. But I don't want to give up on this, on us, not yet. Not yet is good enough for now. But we need rules, real ones, not just promises." "Okay." Dante straightened, his businessman focus clicking into place. "Tell me what you need." "First, no more grand gestures without asking me first. That includes funding, job opportunities, fixing problems with the university. All of it. If you want to help, you ask. You don't just do." "Agreed." "Second, we slow down. I know you said you love me, and that's a lot, but I need time to catch up emotionally. So no pressure, no expectations. We date like normal people." "Define normal people." "People who don't declare love after 5 days." Dante winced. "Fair. What else?" "Third, you meet with a therapist. About the Luca stuff. About your control issues. About learning healthy relationship patterns." He hesitated. "Maya, non-negotiable. If we're going to do this, I need to know you're actually working on yourself, not just promising to change." Dante was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Okay, I'll find someone this week." "Good." Maya took a breath. "And fourth, I need you to understand that I might still walk away. If this gets too complicated, if you can't respect my boundaries, if it starts affecting my career or my mental health, I'll end it, and you have to be okay with that. I'm not okay with losing you, but I understand the boundary. His hand found hers, fingers lacing together. Anything else? Yeah, one more thing. Name it. Kiss me, because we've been standing here having this intense emotional conversation for 10 minutes, and I really just want you to kiss me. Dante's smile was slow and devastating. That I can definitely do. He kissed her slowly, deeply, like he was trying to memorize every detail. His hands cradled her face, thumbs stroking her cheekbones, and Maya melted into him despite all her reservations and fears and very logical concerns. Because this feeling of rightness, of coming home, of finding someone who saw all of her and wanted her anyway, this was worth the risk. Even if it was terrifying. Even if it might break her heart. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Dante rested his forehead against hers. "Thank you," he murmured. "For what?" "For giving me another chance. For being honest even when it hurt. For not running away when it would have been easier." "I still might run away." "I know, but you didn't today. That's enough." Maya's phone buzzed again. "Priya, Maya Elizabeth Chen, if you don't respond in the next 30 seconds, I'm calling the police." Maya pulled back and quickly typed, "Alive, not dead," possibly making a huge mistake, but doing it anyway. Priya's response was immediate. "That's my girl. Also, I'm ordering pizza for dinner because you're going to need carbs after all this emotional devastation." "Priya?" Dante asked. "Priya. She's ordering pizza and preparing for emotional fallout." "Smart woman." He tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "Do you want me to go? Give you space to process?" Maya considered. The logical answer was yes. Space was good. Distance was healthy. Time to think without his overwhelming presence clouding her judgment. But her heart had other ideas. "Come upstairs," she said. "Meet Priya officially. Have pizza. Be normal for a few hours." "I can do normal. Can you, though?" "I'll try very hard to pretend I'm a regular person, and not a possible crime lord, with control issues and a problematic family history." Maya laughed despite herself. "When you put it like that, I'm questioning all my life choices." "Too late. You're stuck with me now." He kissed her forehead. "Come on, let's go eat pizza and pretend we're normal people who definitely didn't just have a relationship-defining argument on your apartment steps." They walked into the building hand in hand, and Maya tried very hard not to think about how natural it felt. Because if she started thinking about that, she'd have to admit that maybe, just maybe, she was falling in love too. And that was still way too terrifying to contemplate. 3 hours later, Maya was sitting on her couch between Dante and Priya, eating pizza and watching them argue about whether The Princess Bride was a perfect film or just a very good film. "It's perfect," Priya insisted. "The dialogue, the romance, the sword fighting, the fire swamp scene drags," Dante countered. "And don't get me started on the inconsistent accent work. How dare you? The fire swamp is essential character development." Maya watched them, amused. Dante had shed his jacket and was completely relaxed, gesturing animatedly as he defended his position. He looked younger like this, lighter, like the man he might have been if he'd been born into a different family. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. "Miss Chen? I told my caseworker about staying at Mr. Caruso's guest house. She's coming tomorrow to do a home visit and make sure everything's okay. Is that all right? Also, Mr. C left me a note this morning saying he talked to someone at MIT about campus tours. Is he always like this? Kind of intense, but in a good way." Maya smiled and typed back. "Home visit is great, and yes, he's always like that. You'll get used to it." "Marcus, are you guys dating? Because he talks about you a lot, like a concerning amount." Maya glanced at Dante, who was now dramatically reenacting the sword fight scene while Priya threw popcorn at him. "Yes," she typed. "We're dating. It's complicated, but we're figuring it out." "Marcus, cool. He seems really happy when he talks about you. Like, genuinely happy. It's nice to see." Maya's chest tightened. She locked her phone and leaned back against the couch. Dante noticed immediately. "Everything okay?" "Yeah. Marcus says you talk about me a lot." "The kid's exaggerating." "Am I, though?" Priya grinned. Because you've mentioned Maya approximately 15 times in the last hour. I'm being attentive. That's what good boyfriends do. Boyfriend? Maya raised an eyebrow. Did we establish that? Dante's expression turned serious. Do you want to establish that? The room went quiet. Even Priya stopped eating, watching them with barely concealed interest. Maya thought about everything that had happened in the past week. The slap, the dinners, the confessions, the fight, the reconciliation, the way Dante looked at her like she was the most important thing in his world, the way he made her feel seen and valued and challenged all at once. Yeah, she said quietly. I think I do. Dante's smile was worth every moment of fear and doubt. Good, because I already told Marcus you were my girlfriend, and it would have been awkward if you disagreed. You what? He asked if we were dating. I said yes. Was I supposed to lie to a teenager? You could have said it's complicated. It's not complicated anymore. We're together. We're figuring it out. That's pretty straightforward. Priya was grinning so hard her face looked like it might split. I love this. I love everything about this. You guys are like a rom-com come to life. Our life is not a rom-com, Maya protested. Girl, you slapped a man at a charity gala, and he fell in love with you. You rescued a teenager together. You had a big fight and made up on your apartment steps. If that's not a rom-com, I don't know what is. Dante leaned over and kissed Maya's temple. I kind of agree with Priya. You would. You're the one living the fantasy. We both are. His arms slid around her shoulders, pulling her close. And I'm not complaining. Maya settled against him, feeling the solid warmth of his body, the steady beat of his heart. This was real, messy and complicated and terrifying. But real. Her phone buzzed one more time. An email from Dr. Patterson. Miss Chen, after further review and deliberation, the committee has decided to continue your enrollment in the program. However, you will remain on academic probation for the remainder of the semester. Any further incidents will result in immediate dismissal. Please schedule a meeting with me next week to discuss your research progress and professional development plan. Nice, Dr. P. Maya read it twice, then a third time, hardly daring to believe it. What is it? Dante asked. I'm still in the program. Her voice was shaky with relief. They're not kicking me out. Priya squealed and launched herself at Maya in a hug. I told you it would work out. Academic probation isn't exactly ideal, but you're still in. That's what matters. Dante was quiet, but when Maya looked at him, his expression was proud. You did it, on your own terms. Well, I mean, you did call the university president, who apparently didn't sway the committee as much as I'd hoped. He squeezed her hand. This was all you, Maya. Your work, your merit, your determination. You earned this. We don't know that for sure. I do. His voice was certain, and eventually you'll believe it too. Maya wanted to argue, but she was too tired and too relieved and too happy to fight about it. Instead, she leaned into Dante's side, grabbed another slice of pizza, and let herself enjoy the moment. Her career was intact. Her relationship was complicated but hopeful. Her mentee was safe and settled, and somehow, despite all the chaos and drama and absolutely insane decisions of the past week, things were actually okay. More than okay. They were pretty damn good. And as Priya restarted The Princess Bride and Dante's fingers traced lazy patterns on her shoulder, Maya thought that maybe, just maybe, this was what happiness felt like. Messy and imperfect, and absolutely worth fighting for. Part 4. 3 months later, Maya stood in front of a packed conference room at Boston University, presenting her research on childhood trauma resilience to a panel of professors, potential funders, and, much to her lingering anxiety, Dante, who sat in the back row trying to look inconspicuous and failing miserably. And in conclusion, Maya said, clicking to her final slide, early intervention programs that focus on building emotional resilience and providing stable mentorship can significantly improve long-term outcomes for children experiencing traumatic family situations. The data shows. Dr. Patterson raised her hand. Miss Chen, your sample size is impressive, but how do you propose scaling this model without significant funding? Maya took a breath. This was the moment. I'm currently in discussions with several foundations about grant opportunities. The preliminary budget estimates. What about the Caruso Foundation? Another professor interrupted. They've expressed interest in your work, haven't they? Every eye in the room turned to Dante, who straightened slightly but said nothing. They have, Maya said clearly, and I've declined their offer. While I appreciate their mission, I want my research to be funded based solely on merit, without any appearance of conflict of interest. She caught Dante's eye. He smiled slightly, a private moment of pride and understanding passing between them. However, Maya continued, I've recently received preliminary approval from the National Science Foundation for a 2-year grant that would allow me to expand the mentorship program to 3 additional youth centers in Boston, pending final review, of course. The room erupted in murmurs. Dr. Patterson's eyebrows rose, possibly the closest thing to impressed Maya had ever seen from her. When the presentation ended, Maya was swarmed with questions. By the time she extracted herself, Dante was waiting in the hallway, leaning against the wall with that infuriating smirk she'd grown to love. You were brilliant, he said. You're biased. Extremely, but also correct. He pulled her into a quick kiss, not caring who saw. NSF funding. When were you going to tell me? When it was official. I didn't want to jinx it. You mean you wanted to prove you could do it without me? Maya smiled. Maybe a little of both. Fair enough. He took her hand. Ready? Marcus is waiting at the car. We're supposed to pick him up at school, remember? How could I forget? He's been texting me all week about the MIT campus tour. They walked out together, and Maya marveled at how normal this had become. Dating Dante Caruso, possible reformed crime lord, and definite control freak in recovery, had been the most challenging and rewarding experience of her life. He'd kept his promises, weekly therapy sessions with Dr. Brennan, learning to ask before acting, respecting her boundaries, even when it clearly killed him to step back and let her handle things herself. He still slipped sometimes, like the time he'd accidentally gotten her car detailed because it looked dirty, or when he'd shown up at her apartment with groceries because he was in the neighborhood. But he was trying, really trying. And Maya had learned to accept help when it was offered freely, not forced, to recognize the difference between support and control, to let herself be loved without feeling like she was losing her independence. Marcus was waiting outside his school, backpack slung over his shoulder, practically vibrating with excitement. Miss Chen, Mr. C, you're here. He threw himself into the back seat. I got my acceptance letter today. Early admission. Full scholarship. I'm going to MIT. Maya twisted around to hug him, tears streaming down her face. Marcus, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Either of you. Marcus's voice cracked. My caseworker finalized the foster placement too. The Johnsons, they're amazing. They want to adopt me once everything's processed. Dante caught Maya's eye in the rearview mirror. They'd worked together on Marcus's case for months, attending meetings with social workers, advocating for stable placement, supporting him through the chaos of the system. It had been their first real test as a team, learning to collaborate instead of Dante just taking over. You did this yourself, kid, Dante said. We just provided support. The rest was all you. Can we celebrate? Marcus asked. Like actual celebration? Not just pizza? What did you have in mind? Maya asked. That fancy Italian place where you guys had your first date? I've never been somewhere that nice. Dante and Maya exchanged glances. You're on, Dante said. But you're wearing something nicer than that hoodie. Deal. That night, sitting in the same restaurant where this had all started, Maya watched Marcus charm the waiter with questions about the menu and felt something settle in her chest. This strange, unconventional family they'd built, a grad student, a reformed crime lord, and a brilliant teenager who'd survived more than most adults. It worked. Against all odds. It worked. What are you thinking? Dante murmured, his hand finding hers under the table. That I'm happy, Maya admitted. Genuinely terrifyingly happy. Terrifying? Because I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something to go wrong. Maybe nothing will go wrong. Maybe this is just us, our life. messy and imperfect and real. When did you become so wise? Dr. Brennan gives good advice. Also, you've trained me well. Maya laughed. I haven't trained you. I've just domesticated you slightly. I prefer reformed. Reformed crime lord has a nice ring to it. Alleged crime lord, he corrected, grinning. We've been through this. Marcus looked up from his menu. Are you guys going to be gross and romantic all night? 'Cause I need to know so I can prepare mentally. Probably, Maya said. Definitely, Dante added. Fine. But I'm ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. You're worth it, kid, Dante said, and meant it. Later, when Marcus was distracted by dessert, Dante leaned close to Maya. I love you, he whispered. Have I mentioned that today? Only 3 times. Then I'm behind schedule. He kissed her temple. Thank you. For what? For taking a chance on me, for not giving up when I screwed up, for teaching me what partnership actually looks like. Maya turned to look at him fully. I love you too, even though you're still terrible at letting me struggle through things on my own. I'm working on it. I know, and I appreciate it. She squeezed his hand. We're going to be okay, aren't we? Better than okay. Dante's smile was soft, genuine, full of the future they were building together. We're going to be extraordinary. And looking around the table, at Marcus, at Dante, at this life she'd accidentally fallen into when she'd slapped a stranger at a charity gala, Maya believed him. They were messy and complicated and absolutely, completely, utterly imperfect. But they were also real, and loved and home. And that was more than enough. The end.